Oh wait, we forgot to hit the X too.
The bruise is on your movie?
Yeah, it's like on my side.
3, 2, 1.
But it's not even.
Who's playing?
Me.
I thought you were.
Yeah, I thought you were playing.
Okay, I can play. Give me the
Oh, you guys are gonna ruin my game some more?
Good God, y'all.
So Android sucks.
Not as much as Apple.
Oh boy.
I think we summed it up. That's
Apples don't have a mouth, so they can't suck, Walker. Duh.
Yes, guys. It's
If they
the
did have mouse, it would improve them greatly.
it's a topic that we all love to talk about. Android versus iPhone. Should we introduce everybody and like what you stand for?
I'm Ryan Betts.
What do you stand for?
Jesus.
All right, Miss. What do you stand for?
I'm Josh Simonji, and
Okay.
All right, sir.
I'm Adam and I like.
Yeah. All right, and then right behind me in the red.
I'm Josh Simonji and I suck.
I'm Josh Simonji.
There's an apostle.
I'm Rebecca Simonji. I stand for women's rights.
Boo.
I want to cancel. Boo. And my name is Noah Simonji, and I'm a racist. All right. All right. So welcome everybody to the show. So yeah, we are talking not about that one. We're talking about Android versus Apple. The world constantly loves to compete with each other, whether it's video games, movie franchises, politics, even brands of bread. My favorite brand personally is Wonder.
Really?
Yeah, Wonder Bread.
You like Wonder Bread?
Yeah, it's so
What are you,
good.
poor?
I mean,
I mean, I am.
Do you live at a trailer home?
But when it comes to
White
phones,
beaters?
it gets real, guys. So, guess, all of you, including the two Josh Simonjis, which is better, Android or iPhone, and why?
iPhone.
Why?
Because they're more expensive.
Oh, first
Wow, that's a good reason, honestly. I mean,
That's a dumb reason. I wrote down a bunch of pros and cons for both iPhone and Android.
Okay.
And one of the cons I thought for
For?
iPhone was the large price tag.
No, that's a pro.
$1,300 for a phone.
but I mean, that goes with the old saying: you get what you pay for. So
Yeah.
Well, you get
That's
there's a
nothing.
reason why
to be
iPhones
fair,
are more money.
To be fair, most Androids now, like the Google and Samsung, are pretty close. Like the No 9's $1,000 too, so
Right, exactly.
Wait,
yeah.
how much was your phone new?
$1,000.
It was $1,000. Oh wow.
That's a good point.
Mine's 1,300. Beat that.
We should ask.
$1,300.
We should ask our live audience. What do you guys use?
Apple, Android.
So we have a divided.
Oh my God. Apple.
We have a divided audience.
White girl
tonight.
all the way.
My fierce apple.
All right, so let me give some pros that I found for iPhone. We can start with that. So pros for iPhone.
That was the best response.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
This is why we're
so
not.
far away.
So
that is a perfect description.
do you want to switch?
That's so true.
Adam, do you
Dude, we own it, man.
What?
want to switch seats?
No, I can see fire. This map is huge. Holy.
All right.
Adam's not going to get involved in this.
That's okay.
We're playing
no.
Red Dead.
Did you fart again?
All right. So
That was the phone. I just gotta tell you.
Your phone farted?
Sure.
Another perk of iPhone.
it has a fart
Your
sound
iPhone's
effect.
red for you?
All right. So iPhone's
Apple.
pro. Thank you.
Let's end this podcast right now. Apple! I hate Apple now. I'm on Team Android. I'm done, dude. Straight
All
up.
right. So the pros for iPhone that I found, we can add to this. Everyone uses iPhones. I mean, when you think of smartphone, you think of iPhone.
Android.
Well,
Nokia.
it's also very.
When I think of a smartphone, I think of Android. Yeah. I don't think of iPhone.
Well, no, didn't you tell me that more people have Androids than iPhones?
Yeah.
I actually
do
don't
they?
know that.
I think
I
that's.
thought it was you I was talking about that. I'm like, I thought.
We can look it up.
So to answer that question, I found this article on Device Atlas. As you can see in this video, there is a map of our globe. Apologies to the audio listeners that you cannot see this, but I'll do my best to describe it. The dark blue areas are Android users, and the light blue areas are iOS users or Apple users. So as you can see with North America, it is light blue, meaning that Apple is very popular in North America, minus Mexico. But as you can tell from just looking at the globe in general, there is a lot of dark blue spots, like in Mexico, South America entirely, most of Europe, and actually a good chunk of Asia as well. So it's kind of fair to say that Android would be more popular throughout the globe, but America, we definitely like our Apple devices, which makes sense because Apple was in fact created in America. iPhones are also very simple to use.
For simple-minded people.
Yes.
I mean, it's true. They have fun.
I'm retarded. I'm not gonna
Yeah, but Androids, with the whole simplicity thing, Androids are saturated with that you're never going to use.
Yeah, I mean, Androids, they do have a bunch of...
Unless you're smart enough to use them, so... Yeah,
Well, okay, do you ever use that little pen thing that comes with your phone?
all the time.
When do you use it?
Exactly,
yeah. Get out of here, you don't use it.
I started thinking out to change the song, like you can do that.
Why don't you just click on your phone instead of pull out a pen?
I want to be fancy.
See, exactly, this is my point.
I should-
Don't use the stuff they offer.
I should clarify it. Raise your hand if you're an iPhone lover.
I'm gonna have one, so I guess
So half the audience, and then...
There's
And then raise your hand if you're an Android lover.
I fed him.
That'd be different.
Josh, but you have an iPhone.
That's true.
So
We'll
you're
get to
a
that.
phony.
We'll get to that story in a second.
Can I argue the side of like the flip phones?
Which one feeds
Classic
No.
like Nokias.
Shut your face, Josh.
Let me
All
tell
right.
you about it. Josh, Indestructible.
Yeah.
Texting, calling, that's all you need.
Anyway, so the cons I found for iPhones is as a fast draining battery life, large price tag,
Fast draining battery life?
yeah, like a
Flash,
Why don't you just say
Don't
that's a bad battery?
bad
No.
battery. Fine,
I
gosh.
thought the newer ones are better with battery life.
It-
It's the older
You
generation.
get like a
mine,
day, easy a day.
Mine's the 6S, and yeah, that my battery life sucks. It's like I open up like an app and it'll be.
But I mean, like over time, it
Well,
like
my
really
case is a
deteriorates.
battery, so it's
Oh, yeah.
It really messes up. You know, like
It was
it
only
slows
30
down.
We're not arguing the case, we're arguing the phone.
But that's the thing. iPhones have so many case options because everybody makes cases for iPhones, whereas Androids has had trouble finding cases.
That's true. It's a good point. Very good point.
This guy, okay.
So,
I've never had
and
an iPhone, I can't really argue that point. Like, does it really matter?
Yes.
Yes.
Does it make
More
sense?
variety. There's
more
variety.
choices. You have more choice.
That's the stupidest argument
We're
ever. coming from
pro-choice,
an iPhone.
Walker. You're not.
We're pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
That's not what we're saying at all.
We are pro-choice. I mean pro-life. I mean both.
And then probably the two biggest cons: one, Fortnite, and
Fortnite.
two, it
Wait,
doesn't play well with anything not Apple. So
True.
communicating iPhone wise with Androids is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, iPhone and Noah have a lot in common, whereas
I
they
totally
both like
follow.
segregation. Like they like to like kind of put the peasants on one side, have iPhone like together alone, and just
The
Get all those
leaks.
poor
the
people out
elites
here.
basically,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
the pores,
The pores.
the pores.
Sir, where do you live?
So let's go to the next one.
Moving
Let's
on.
keep this going here. Come on, let's stay on topic, Jen.
right.
iPhones and Android.
So moving on. Well, iPhone users, do you have any other pros you want to add to iPhones?
I think the
They work very well together with the iMessage and everything.
I think the simplicity is a con or pro rather than a con.
Oh, duh.
No, I said it was a. I said it was a
Oh,
pro.
you said that. Oh, my bad.
It's
okay.
very simple to use. Yeah, I mean.
That's the big reason why I like it. And I just grew up with it, so all my music's on there.
Yeah, their music app is really good.
Yeah, iTunes.
Pandora.
No,
just
again, nobody uses Pandora.
Going strong.
Apple.
All right, so
Hashtag
moving
Apple.
on now to Android, the pros and cons of Android. And Walker, you can
It's
back
gonna
me
be
up.
short.
So pros.
It's gonna be a short list.
So I have fast.
That's not true.
iPhones are fast too. Noah said he could pull up his porn twice as fast as
No, because my Android I had for 2 years. By the end of the 2 years, I couldn't even turn it on because it's.
Anyway, it's also very customizable, which is unlike the iPhone. You're
never
kind
use
of.
that.
Except for your cases, you guys can customize your
That's
cases.
true. You guys can
Yeah.
customize your case. That's where you have us beat.
That's kind of like the.
It has a lot of cool features.
Like?
That you never use.
Well, so with my Pixel, when I had it for a week, it had the ability, like if my phone was like up, like like this, like face down, it would put itself on Do Not Disturb. so I can enjoy the moment around me and play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Or you can
Shout
swipe
out
down
to
right
Red
here
Dead.
and click this moon, and now I'm in Do Not Disturb.
But that's such a hassle. I would
That's
rather
not a
just be
hassle. You
like,
press a button.
I'd rather just be like, oh, you know what? I'm talking to this cute girl right here, and then boom! And then it also has extendable storage for some of the phones. You can put a terabyte of storage.
You can
I
get
Why
thought-
the f would you need that?
you get 512.
Hey, guess what? Is that a terabyte?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
What are you gonna use a terabyte?
What are you gonna use 512 gigabytes?
Porn.
Of course, it has great cameras.
Okay,
the iPhone's
but
camera's
That is
great,
true.
too.
It is
iPhone
nothing compared to the Pixel camera, though.
So it's arguable because it's like whatever phone comes out next has the best camera. So it's like iPhone will have it, then Android will have it.
But I feel
Well,
like
Android by and large.
Android always.
The
has
only
it.
thing I will say
Android always
for the
has it.
Android, for the Galaxies, the screens on those things are amazing.
Yeah, they're
But-
good.
It's not worth it.
Well, no, Androids usually take better pictures, but like anytime you send it to anybody, it looks like it was taken.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
true, the
Shadow.
video.
so. Yeah, that's what I was gonna
But
say.
iPhone, it's like
When you
any,
send it to
videos.
anyone with an iPhone, you mean?
well, no, iPhone.
Well, but
yeah.
when you send an
iPhone looks good.
picture
Like
to
you take the
Android
picture, it
again,
might not be a little. It won't be as good as an Android, but you send it to anyone, anywhere, and like it looks just as
Send
good.
a picture
I think it's still. I think it's still the
That's not
same
true.
issue.
Show me your facts, Walker.
Well,
If you send me a video, it looks like garbage.
yeah, it's the same
Okay.
thing. No, it works both ways.
Wait, when I sent you the boomerang of Josh, was it blurry?
Yes.
Yeah, that blows. I hate
And
that.
See, that's the thing. So their operating systems don't work well with each other, Apple and Android. So that's why you
He's
know
gotta fix that.
they need to fix that. Exactly, audience member number one.
What is happening?
What if you send it as an
Apple lady.
SMS?
Apple. Yeah.
See, it all goes back to Windows came up with the original like computer system, and Apple's like, I want to make the same thing, but I can't because it's copyrighted. I want to make it the exact opposite way, so that way it's not the same.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
that's
Steve
why it's all
Jobs.
different.
That's something a loser would say.
A poor person would say.
Can I be, can I be
Something
the
a
neutral?
form.
Let's go back to the question again. Where do you live?
So to the next question.
With Android, cons I found was it can be a little complicated to use. It's not as simple as iPhone. It loses text messages with iPhone users, which we talked about, is also a con with iPhone. And the Android Auto, I don't know if you use this, Walker. It's kind of buggy. It's their version of CarPlay. It's not really.
Yeah, I knew the Apple one's better.
It's not really the best. It's not really that clean.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be super bright, like when you're driving at night, like for no reason.
I've seen that, but I've never used it.
Yeah.
The
And-
Apple CarPlay is really cool, but
Yeah. And of course, Fortnite.
what's
What
Fortnite?
about
So
that?
Fortnite they put on your smartphones, and I'm just saying it's a con no matter what because Fortnite's a garbage game.
It is a garbage game. Oh my
It
god.
was sad they used that as a selling point.
Let's get Logan down here and ask him what he thinks of it.
Horse
That's a
bonding
whole other
increased to
episode
level
right
2.
there.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
We'll be here
So
all night.
I think probably the biggest issue between Android and iPhone is their software. So the question I have for you guys is, should Android and Apple work together on their software issues? Whether it's the text message loss, the photo quality, the group chats, Game Pigeon. Like, should they work together to do something like that, or keep it separate?
So
It's
Android
like
is
games
open
you play through
source,
text
so they're
message.
already doing that.
Oh, like Battleship.
I have
a
a good point.
So it's Apple.
Do I
It's
think they
Apple.
should?
Apple has to be
Yeah.
exclusive
Becky, you
because
just gotta jump
they
in.
want only their things to work with their things. That's their whole marketing plan. Like, oh, you have an iPhone, get a MacBook Air, get a whatever,
Right.
It's all their stuff.
Yeah.
They
Back-
don't want it to work with other stuff.
Yeah. Becca, what were you gonna say?
So in my economics class, I learned that if you have two companies and they compete against each other, that stimulates the economy and is better
true.
for entrepreneurs.
Well, yeah.
Also,
Sorry.
as the neutral voice of reason here, because I don't care about Apple or Droid. I have an Apple, but I don't care. Anyway,
Bias.
Bias.
so I think Apple users tend to get Apple because it's more.
Hoity toity. Pinky in the air.
Simple.
Like,
Starts with an
Stupid.
E.
ooh, I spent so much money on my
Uh,
phone. It doesn't work as well.
You just
as
said
other
like Androids are
phones.
just as expensive now.
Yeah, but they're better.
Oh, it's more
There's
convenient.
better.
Oh, get out of here.
Apple phones are more convenient.
All right, fist fight over it.
There's more
AirDrop,
things you can do.
iMessage.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I have
What
to
you're
say.
talking about?
I don't know.
I stopped listening for a second and lost you.
What just happened?
Adam, you lost for
You
some
died.
reason.
It's okay.
I died?
Or
Let me
no,
just
you
say
failed
this.
mission.
Anytime you see a homeless man who sounds like
Boundless.
BO, and guess what phone he has? An Android phone. An Android.
I was gonna say a flip phone, but okay.
If you're poor, unsubscribe and unfollow this channel.
They will be.
Leave.
Wait, no, come back.
We don't want your
We
kind
need
here.
you.
Do you think maybe friends in your family circle play a role in like what phones you have? So everybody has Apple phones, except for Walker, audience member number 2, and it was myself. But then I switched back because of the stupid iPhone thing.
Do you really regret it? I think you're just saying that to
No, I actually.
ruffle some feathers.
No, so
They
here's
made
the
it
thing.
so inconvenient for him to switch and communicate with everyone. That
Because
they're
it's
like,
a
I guess
sin,
I'll go back
it's
to
in the
Apple."
Bible.
Yeah.
Is
Thou
it?
must
Show
have
me.
an iPhone.
Show me
Thou
your
shalt
facts.
not have Android.
Like switching to Android, I mean, it felt great because you were getting something new, something you're not familiar with. Like when you're an iPhone user your entire life.
Wait, do
But
the
the
song.
day-
Familiarity.
I mean, some
Thank you,
people.
Apple.
That's like you're an audience member.
I mean, some people. Yeah, you're right. Some people do like the familiarity and they want to stick with
Hey
iPhone.
Josh, the day you got your Android, the whole day you were talking about how much it sucks. Like the whole
You just
3-4
drop them
days.
at him.
You just dropped this
Did you kill somebody?
He fell off the cliff into the river.
Oh, he gone.
You freaking heathen,
He
dude.
He
gone.
did. There's no
Oh,
way.
you're
Who is
trying
that?
to
To save it.
He jumped? No, he dropped him.
dropped him.
Oh, Hungarian half-breed.
Adam facilitated
Oh,
his
okay.
jump.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh.
Anyway.
Because he uses Androids.
Oh, we got tossed.
Wasted. Oh, that's wrong.
This poor.
That's GTA.
That's poor boss. Anyway, but I'm saying I enjoyed the Switch when I had it. For those of you at home who don't know what we're talking about, I had an Android for a week because I wanted to try something new. I was done with my iPhone. I had the iPhone 6S.
Here, bud. Okay, sorry, I'll let you go.
And then I was like so sick of it because it deleted all of my music, all of my ringtones, and I couldn't get any of it back. I
You
had
still
to, like,
have ringtone?
Yeah, I had
This is
ringtones.
2001?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, 2018. I'm a few years off. But anyway, so I was sick of Apple, and not to mention too, like it was draining my battery life. So I would go through like half the day, and I would have like no battery whatsoever. So I switched to Android just to try it out, see how it felt, and I liked it a lot. I liked all the customization.
You like how it felt?
I liked how it felt.
That's what she said.
You could squeeze it with your hand, and Siri and Google
That's
would
what she
pop
said.
up.
Siri?
Siri?
Yeah.
And Google Assist would pop up. My background was the globe, and it would move in real time. So if it was high noon in California,
Why do you
it
have
would
that?
show high noon.
I heard that Androids have a feature where you
Dumbest
can watch paint dry on the screen. It's
I
really
mean,
sick, dude.
there was another feature to watch a Switzerland town change overnight as well.
But that's okay. That's something you can do like a quick Google search away on your iPhone. Like you
So
don't
check it
have to
out.
have
I just downloaded the Apple launcher that you guys have on your phones
Oh wow,
on my Android.
that's so
Can
cool.
you guys do that on your
See,
phones?
but
Can you get a
Yeah,
Samsung
my phone is that.
launcher? I mean,
I mean, I
but-
could. I'd have to jailbreak it.
oh
though.
look, I got Safari now. Like, oh.
See, but you doing that, you're kind of like the unloved stepchild. And I'm kind of like, you know, I know you're trying to be like the big brother here, but you're living in our shadow. You're kind of like in the tossed off to the side.
You're too poor to be with that.
iPhone. Would you say you guys think you're the best? What's the reasoning behind you think iPhone's the best smartphone out there? Careful.
Well, like I mean, what I said earlier, just the simplicity. That's that. I mean, for me personally, that is the biggest thing for me.
Mm.
I just think it's the simplicity aspect of it.
Yeah. What do you say, Noe?
I just like how iMessage can communicate with everybody. It's like so. It just works well.
What about you,
My
Jen?
message does not communicate with
You had an
me,
iPhone
though.
for a long time.
Hit your bounty, Adam.
I like the camera better.
Ooh.
I
On the
hate
iPhone?
on the Android, and I hate everything else about the Android. I like the simplicity. I would probably switch back eventually.
That's how I felt. I love the camera on my Android, but just the iPhone.
I know. I had an Android
Everything
too
else
for
I don't
almost
like.
2 years, and the whole time,
Although the cameras on the iPhones have gotten a lot better.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
one's
see it.
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the when I had the Pixel for the week, my camera was awesome because like there was like a group shot mode you could do. You could add the Incredible Hulk into your videos,
That was stupid.
which is pretty cool.
Oh,
so like,
and the Bitmoji thing that you can do on here.
That's worth $1,300 right there.
So I think with Android, Walker, you can add as well. I think why Android's probably the better phone is you can do a lot more customization and stuff like that. It can be complicated, but only if you choose it to make it complicated. Like you can customize it the way how you want your phone to be, and you're paying, $800 to like $1,000 for a phone, but you're getting your money's worth. I feel like with iPhone, you're stuck with the features that they give you, and you can't add anything else besides, jailbreaking it.
Oh, jailbreaking.
But I mean,
That's
for most
such a-
people who have iPhones, they're like, I don't care. I like what they offer. So it's like,
I mean, yeah, for some people, they like the simplicity, but other people, like myself, I would prefer a little bit more from your phone.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, Walker and I talked about this. I think it's like if you're more of a tech-savvy person and you want all those extra features, then Android's the phone for you. But if you want just a good, reliable phone that's simple and has a lot of good features on it as is, then iPhone.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much.
I want to say one thing about Apple that I absolutely hate is, simmer down. Let's get into this. So iCloud is the dumbest thing because every single day a notification pops up like you have no storage, and then I'll click manage storage, and then it'll say like 78 megabytes of mail, and that's it. Like all my photos are backed up onto Google. I have nothing on my phone. I have no backups. And it's like your thing is full. And actually, I can show you right now. I will show you.
The thing I hate the most, I remember hating the most is like
credibility.
We're leaving that in there.
The iCloud Drive, every 5 seconds, upgrade your iCloud Drive, your storage is full. It's like, who cares? It's all on my phone. I don't want to back it up.
Focus
on this.
Don't be mad.
You're almost out of battery, by the way.
Your other horse.
You lost?
I don't care. That wasn't my original horse.
No, that was
Josh
my
killed.
horse that I lost.
Okay.
Don't touch. No.
I already touched.
Don't mess with the focus.
I did. Okay. See that? So it says. There you go.
Don't move the camera at all.
Jeez, Adam, you were
I
coming
fixed
in
it.
hot.
I know.
Goodness.
Anyway, so Becca, I was going to ask you before you totally took over the show.
I'm the captain.
Like a typical woman.
You're so right.
Wow, are we talking
Let me just bow down after this.
Yep, let's go.
And gender issues is next week, guys, so be sure to stay tuned, subscribe.
Hey, yo.
Hey, bar fight. Hey,
How do you fight? How do you fight?
Circle.
Circle.
Squares to block.
Square.
Squares to block. Oh, he rolled a gun. Oh, you pistol whipped.
Oh my goodness.
Go to the right,
Wait, I'm reloading.
Don't shoot the bartender.
Oh, you pistol whipped him again.
It's probably the bartender's first day.
Order something quick. Pick up your hat.
You got a gun, just kill him.
Oh, you shot him.
Savages.
I want his hat. Wait, where does his hat go?
You're
Is this on
wanted.
lockers?
Right,
Of course
right
it
trigger.
is.
There you go. Ha
And I want it.
Dead or alive. So I was gonna say, Becca, as somebody who's in the middle on both of these smartphones, who do you think won this war between iPhone?
I think this whole debate is so
That was like so
It literally just comes down to preference.
It's personal preference. That's it.
No, it's not. It's Apple.
They're both capitalistic, entrepreneurship, capital companies.
They both like
You said capital like 5 times.
Come on, horse.
I need to
You're
know.
grabbing for scraps there.
Capitalism. Amen.
Yeah, so.
Can I get an amen? It's capitalism.
Amen. I understand where you're. Oh!
Adam got tossed like a salad.
Adam, how many guys have you killed?
You like killed the whole town.
Yeah, I kill like shit.
Gosh, dude.
You guys covered in blood.
Blood and mud.
I know it's
Yeah,
mud.
I was doing bounties and these guys just started fighting me. I was like, what?
Don't worry, you only have a $265 bounty. Wow.
Is that
Oh
high?
my goodness.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty low.
No, the average bounty's like $30, not even.
I need to heal up here.
Anyway, what are your thoughts and comments? Who do you think won at home, audience?
Leave it in the comments.
Was it Apple
Apple.
or was it Android?
I'm not doing that.
Android.
You can't do it with Android.
Android.
So leave it in the comments down below. Tell your friends. And
Yeah, Apple says that.
Tell your wives.
And
tell
guests,
your fathers.
thank you all for joining me. This is probably the most people we've had on the podcast.
Woo!
Does anybody have any final thoughts?
Breaking records.
Phone number?
Oh, geez.
We were so close. That was not a good idea.
And cut.